Hi, and welcome to Out of My Mind. This is Robison Wells. I apologize that I haven't been around for the last several weeks. We've had some very difficult things going on with the family. Most notable is that my wife had a stroke. It was very unexpected. My wife is not old; she's 42. Um, this is not the age where you would expect that someone would have a stroke. Um, in this uh, web series, uh, I intend to talk about mental illness, but uh, this is so interesting to me. Uh, I don't know where you draw the line between what is a mental illness and what is an illness in the brain. And so I wanted to talk about strokes today. My wife's stroke started with a tear in an artery in her cerebellum. Uh, they call this cerebellar artery syndrome. There was a tear in the lining of the artery, not even in the full artery itself. It wasn't spewing out blood into the interstitial area. It was just a tear in the lining, and uh, a clot formed, like clots are supposed to do. I mean, they are a natural body function, and they're there just like a scab to heal a wound. A clot forms to heal a wound, and so a clot formed over this tear in the artery. It was healing it, and the clot slipped. We don't know why it slipped. We don't know why it tore. But my wife had a stroke. Um, she was rushed by ambulance to the emergency room. She got wonderful care there. They took care of her very well. Um, and she spent 4 days in the hospital and has remarkably recovered from where she had been. And she is home now. She still has restrictions. She can't drive a car. She's supposed to take it easy. But all in all, she's doing really amazing for someone who just had a stroke. And it's probably because she kept herself in good health otherwise. But I wanted to tell you a story that comes from one of my favorite books, which is Incognito: The Secret Life of the Brain. And I wanted to talk about this thing called Charles Bonnet syndrome as it relates to strokes. So here's the thing: our brains don't see the world all at once. Our brains see parts of the world, they see what we're focused on, and they fill in the blanks. There's actually, you may or may not be aware, there is a blind spot in your eye. In my eye, it's about right here. Uh, and it is a blind spot. With both eyes open, you never would know that the blind spot's there. With one eye open, you never would know that the blind spot's there, and the reason is because your brain fills in the gaps. It knows what ought to be there, and so it fills it in. Uh, your brain fills in almost everything because you are only viewing certain things at a certain time, and your brain can't be constantly processing everything, and so it fills in the details. Um, so anyway, that is mind blowing enough. But then there's a thing called Charles Bonnet syndrome, which is a very rare reaction to a stroke, where people have a stroke and they go home and they are clumsy, they're dizzy, they fall down, and they get very frustrated by this. Um, and if the doctor catches on, there is more to it than them just uh, falling and being dizzy. And what is actually happening is that their brain, their entire brain, is filling in the gaps. The stroke victim is completely blind, but their brain is filling in everything. And so the house that this person knew, uh, they are imagining the house the way that it was when they could see. And so when they are being clumsy, it's because they are believing that this chair is here and this uh, piano is here, and maybe something has moved and they're tripping over it. And they think, oh no, I'm just being clumsy from the stroke, I'm being dizzy. But no, the truth is that they are literally falling over objects that they cannot see, because what they see is their remembrance of what the house used to look like. I think that this is so fascinating that brains do this. Um, it's very, very uncommon, but it's common enough that it's worth talking about. Anyway, this is a short episode today. I apologize for the background noise. We've got the air conditioner blowing pretty hard. Um, but thanks for watching. We're going to get back on the right schedule, and we're going to be posting again. And we're going to be talking about mental illness and not about my wife's stroke. But thank you to everyone who helped out while she was in the hospital, and who has helped out in the week since. I really appreciate all of um, the messages and the food and the many well wishes that were sent in our direction. So thank you very much, and I will see you on Thursday. Thanks.